Welcome to our presentation. Doovd.co.uk is an online DVD rental service allowing customers to rent a DVD from the comfort of their own home. The customer will pay £8.99 a month and will receive any DVD rental within 3 days and have 7 days to watch the film. There are no late fees, but the customer will not be able to rent out another film until they have returned the previous one. This is the company's business model, and it gives a brief idea of how the service will run. There are 4 steps in the cycle. It starts with picking the film on the website to the DVD then being sent to the customer, who will have it for a maximum of 7 days, and then the customer can send it back for free in a prepaid envelope, which we will provide. The history of technology. In the 1960s there were mainframe computers, however management information systems were not great with meeting budgets or deadlines. In the 1980s the first PCs emerged and we have the beginning of the separation between departments and centralised MIS. But in the 1990s MIS and departments work well, forming key technological networks. In 2000 enterprise networks were formed. IT nowadays is used to gain an edge over an organisation's competition and can be used at all levels of an organisation or just a few. It has completely changed the way an organisation does business. However, there are some issues surrounding IT, and these are mostly security issues, like firewall and internet issues, hackers, viruses, identity theft, and privacy issues. Technical issues like system quality, reliability and accuracy are also key factors. But even with gaining competitive advantage, there are still mismatches like risk versus return issues and future cash flow analysis. Our firm can benefit from IT in many ways, through inventory management, e-commerce, data mining, all influencing various departments of our firm. IT makes a difference in customer relationship, marketing, supply chain and logistics, but more importantly, in efficient decision making. We need to decide whether or not we will build our own software. If we build our own software, we could tailor it to our needs and it may even present a competitive advantage. However, there will be some negative factors that need to be considered. For example, we'd have to train our employees in the use of our software, which could lower productivity as they familiarise themselves with how to use the program. It would also be costly to construct from scratch and there might be hidden costs. We would also need to make sure that the program is compatible with all computer systems, not just our own. We will need software which allows us to create a database, to store client information, track orders, check stock, and we require it to be able to update automatically once an order has been placed for one of our DVDs, and for this process to happen quickly. We will be using a wireless local area network system to connect all of our computers together, as it doesn't require cables and allows for us to have many computers connected to one periphery, which will save us space and lower costs. It also allows us to share information easily within the workplace. We also need to decide whether or not we are going to have a separate management information system, or as a temporary measure, double the transaction processing system up for this purpose. For our business, I think it would be more appropriate to use a management information system from the start, to avoid slowing down the recording of data, which may occur when doubling up the transaction processing system. The management information system is constructed by taking a snapshot of data which is being used in the transaction processing system, which can be analysed and long-term decisions made. In the future, we may find it beneficial to use a data warehouse system, as it would enable us to merge data from various operating parts of the business and access past data, allowing an even more detailed analysis.
As a group, we decided to adapt the design of an ER diagram to incorporate certain aspects of the unified modelling language. For example, we placed the attributes into a box with the entity to provide a clear and easily understandable conceptual map. we decided to follow the process of a new customer registering to our DVD rental service and then proceeding to request a DVD to check out. At this stage, the new customer becomes a member of our online store, where they create a member registration account which will include mandatory payment details and the optionality of including multiple customer details. Focuses more on the aspect of the online store, which receives many customer orders. From there, our unique DVD renting system processes these customer orders and the DVD they have requested. Then, our DVD renting system checks the availability of the DVD. In the final stage of the ER diagram, if the DVD is available, then the DVD is rented to the customer. At this stage, important information is recorded, for instance the DVD and customer details. Once the DVD is rented, payment is received from the customer. Only the member registration information is needed as an attribute, due to this including all customer details and payment details, which were recorded at the beginning of the ER diagram.
From our database, we will have to be able to search for queries that a customer or a staff member may have. Here are a few examples. The first is a customer querying when a DVD, Bruno, will next be available. From this query, all the titles of Bruno we would have would be listed in order of the nearest dates they are expected to be returned. And from this we could give the customer an approximate date of when the DVD would next be available. The second query is a customer who would like to know when the DVD that they are renting has to be returned. From this query we would correlate the customer ID and the title of the film taken to receive only one entry on the screen, which will show not only the customer ID, the film title, but also the day the DVD was rented and its due date back. From this we will be able to advise the customer when to return their DVD. The last query is a customer wanting to confirm his payment details. In this query, the information we are bringing up on the screen is the customer ID, the customer's name, date of birth and address, which we would use as a means of security before we give them the payment details that they used.
This is the company's digital dashboard. It is an accumulation of all the key performance indicators that display how the business is functioning in a manner of different fields. This information together gives us a feel of how the company is performing and what aspects are needed to be improved. It is a summary of a period of time, usually a year, that aids the business's future decisions by portraying the current position compared to past results. Key performance indicator shows the cost, revenue and profit from the previous year compared to the same three fields from the current year. This KPI is a very simple visualization to represent the financial data accumulated each month from the previous 24. From this we can see how the costs have varied and allows management to question if any variance can be explained or justified. Also it shows if the business is improving its revenue or not, and if there are any reasons behind this. Comparing data year on year allows management to acknowledge any seasonal trends or variations, lending a help to react in the same time period in the future. These pie charts display another KPI off the dashboard. They display the market share in both the current year and the previous year. The main gain of visually representing this data is that we can notice improvements or shortcomings of the business progress and market growth compared directly to that of competitors. This tends to suggest that in general terms, the business is either improving or not improving as well as competitors. This therefore as a KPI also has benefits, as it includes external competition, so there is a reference point to tell how well the business is performing. KPI shows search engine referrals. The more referrals gained from a website suggest how well the advertising and marketing budget is being spent on sponsored searches. A large amount of hits from a search engine suggests that it is where a lot of business will come from, and therefore either advertising is not needed as it's already a success, or more advertising is needed to promote growth of hits through that site. On the other hand, it may show cultural difference, as different countries and populace use different search engines, highlighting where money can be saved.
This KPI is about unique visitors. This is important to a company because unique visitors most likely represent new customers. From the graph, it can be deduced that Doovd expect double the number of unique visitors in 2010. This KPI concerns success rates or purchase for users browsing doovd.co.uk. This shows how many customers make a single purchase in comparison to those making multiple purchases. As can be seen here, we expect almost 50% of all visitors to make at least one purchase in November 2010. This KPI I'm going to talk about concerns sales and DVD rentals and has a comparison with Love Film, our main rival. This graph shows Love Film ahead of Doovd in 2008, but this changes in 2009 when Doovd overtakes Love Film. The current performance is highlighted via a line graph in bold, as this is the most important of the statistics shown in this graph.